Hi everyone, this is your friend Meir on an amazing Friday here in San Francisco. Well, I tell you, the rest of the country was boiling, and here in San Francisco, except for me, most people were freezing because it was foggy. That's no longer the case. Today it was warm, and in the past I used to go to the ocean even in the coldest days. But today I went to the ocean because it's a warm day. And the ocean wasn't even as cold as normally. It's normally around 50 or 51 degrees Fahrenheit, about 10 Celsius. Today it was like 60 degrees, 15 Celsius, which for many people is cold, but comparing to the ocean, it's nice and warm. And I feel so refreshed. I want to tell you, so many aches and pain can disappear in cold water. Many of you have to try it. If I remember somebody who said he had sciatic pain, he did a bunch of stretches. What really took away the pain is a cold bath. And some people leave my therapy when I suggest cold bath, but it's a great thing. It's a great thing. Others leave my therapy because I tell them to stop smoking or stop drinking coffee. You can imagine how many people I lose right there and then. Well, so I want to tell you about some of my best cases this week. And I also want to tell you one thing. We're starting segment B this Sunday. Any of you who could either be in San Francisco or catch a plane and come to us, we will accept people to segment B, even though they did not take segment A, but we will not grant them certificate until they took segment A. But there are topics there that could be interesting. How to build up more kinesthetic awareness, deep awareness of the body, and how to work on your muscles, whether they're strong or weak. We work on people with muscular dystrophy, and we work on people who are very fit, and all of them can benefit from our work. And why? Because the principles of muscle isolation, loosening tight muscles, working muscles we never used before, work for everyone. We talk about how to improve your vision, have a very nice night walk. Always we meet from 9 to 7, except that day we meet from 12 to 10 and have a nice walk in the park to experience night vision. We work on the nervous system, the autonomic nervous system, the automatic, the one that helps you digest, the one that helps your heart, and the somatic, which is the nervous system of the body where you do things voluntarily. And we learn that with different patterns, it's not voluntary enough. And changing our patterns add more years to our life and more brain cells to our brain, which is a new concept. But you can increase the number of cells in your brain. And I have just the program for that. So think how many things you get in 8 days. Unbelievable. We do 4 days, a day off, another 4 days. So come, see if you can make it from anywhere. So I want to tell you about my 2 successful cases this week. I worked with one nice lady from Florida, and she was told by a physician that she needs to have a vitrectomy, a removal of her vitreous, which is between the lens and the retina. And I can tell you that my partner, Jeanne, was scheduled for such a thing, and she resisted it for a year and a half. And when she nearly gave up, she met me, and then she full steam did my exercises. She met me in New York because Quebec looked too far from San Francisco and not so far from New York. New York is farther from San Francisco than Quebec is. But we met. She was in a couple of lectures of mine. She took a day of workshop. She took a session, took my book, Vision for Life, and unlike others, worked on it diligently. A month later, the same surgeon that wanted her to do the surgery said it's not indicated anymore. 9.5 years later, Every 6 months, she visits the same office and being told the same thing. Stable, leave it alone. We don't need the surgery. Well, this wonderful lady from Florida only met me on Zoom, diligently did my exercises. We have accomplished a lot, not 100%. But one thing her surgeon told her, there's no more tear of the vitreous gel. Therefore, a surgery is completely unindicated. Now I have another story which is deep in my heart. Due to medications that were given to allergic responses, this wonderful lady got such terrible side effects just for those medications that she got gangrenes and her legs needed to be amputated from her calves down. And one of her hands was partially amputated. And she lost vision in one eye, and that eye was removed. The other eye was about to go as well. In that, we always talk about glaucoma that is partially affected by high pressure. Normal pressure is 10 to 20 in the eye, and then above it is 20 to 30, which is high, and then 30 and above is considered to be dangerous. This lady's pressure went down to 2. Can you imagine driving with a tire without air? That's exactly what happens to the eye. It becomes soggy. And that was because of a lot of medications, prednisones. Well, we worked and it went up to 10, the normal pressure. And that was fantastic. But in the meantime, she had to do some surgery in the orbit where her eye was operated. And I want to tell you that I took it back when I asked her to take the patch off that eye, and she said, "Do you really want to look at this?" And I remember when I met the first muscular dystrophy kid, I was then 18. He was 24, and he was so deformed that his ribs were in the right side, the vertebrae were in the left side. Nobody could find where his heart was. His hands were crooked, his legs were crooked in a wheelchair. And he asked me, "Are you disgusted?" I said, "No. I only think about how to move you and help you move forwards." So I told this very nice lady, "Hey, listen, I am happy to work with you in your need." And so we warmed that wonderful area in the sun. And we did the wonderful sunning exercise of moving the head from side to side. But more than that, we patched the seeing eye and let that eye warm in the sun. And with my advice, her surgeon agreed to take away her antibiotic, and her place looks much better. It looks like it's healing. Another surgery is on the way, so we're crossing our fingers. But the eye that we needed to save is saved. And it is so beautiful that warming that orbit makes it easier for the seeing eye to see. This lady is amazing. She has 2 kids, a wonderful husband, and she's a lawyer who is activist for human rights. You can't invent those things. They're fantastic. So I want to tell you, that's why I'm so eager to share my work, whether it is for you or for others. I want to share what can be done because it's hidden. And it feels to me almost like I am a healer sitting in his cave, ready to go out and share what he has with the rest of the world. So come to my classes, come to my sessions. And I will never forget this wonderful guy who called me from Singapore and says, "I'm nearsighted, but I'm also a victim of an accident. My legs don't move, and my arms are partially paralyzed. So I want to meet you. I know I can improve my vision with you, but I also want some magic for my body." Well, I believe in the process, and I think that we could definitely find a way to get our body better. Many blessings to all of you, Meir.